Hey guys, what's up? I am here to give you guys a recap on the new chapter of One Piece, which is on chapter 962. This chapter right here continues the backstory of Oden himself, and this time the title is given to us, the Daimyo and his retainers. So if anything else, let's just continue this recap. We have to it that somebody is really shocked to see that Oden is actually really leaving and they'll be out of trouble and it'll be lonely without you. And Oden's like, yeah, but I heard there's a beast living in Kuri right now, and the monster's name is Ashura Doji. And we all know who Ashura is. Let's not forget that. Aside from that, we have to it that Yasui, or Hedgehog Hair, warns Oden that Kuri is cancer upon Wano. Even Lord Sukiyaki does not even touch the place. And Kuri has become a place where criminals could flee to and consider it heaven. I mean, if one ever crosses into Kuri, the laws of the shogunate is really meaningless. Although if they are not strong enough to survive in Kuri, then they are only delaying their death sentence. As you can see, Kuri is very lawless and may not be part of this country at all. And Oden's like, oh, really? Well, I find this interesting. I think I'll take my own tour around the country if I have to. And we see to it next day, or should I say, another scene shows up where Oden was actually staying at a certain room, and it seems like a very bad mess right now. And Hedgehog Hair, Yasui, goes like, we'll just consider this a natural disaster. And we see to it that the money is also gone and it was locked in the safe. But we have to it that Orochi, the little guy, I mean, we all know who Orochi is, says, oh, I hate to be a snitch, but I saw what happened. It was Lord Oden. He stuffed all the money into a bag. And we see to it that Yasui asks him a question, are you certain? But Orochi just flinched and says, yeah, please forgive me. I was just too scared to stop him. I'm thinking in my mind, yeah, this guy is a total piece of filthy liar, dude. Obvious from the get-go. It must have been Orochi who caused the damage and stole the money, but it's kind of obvious. I mean, he flinched. So, but, even Yasui was actually having doubts, but decides to go along with it. But we also see to it that Oden is really surprised to see to it that he has Kinemon and the guy with the glasses. Dang it, I forgot his name. But all I know is they wanted to follow Oden around. He goes like, what? Are you freaking serious? And we see to it that, like, Oden was really surprised to see them standing in the rain. And they go like, as your servants, we must stand guard. But Oden's like, oh, shut up and come inside already, you dimwits. And we see to it that Oden decides to keep a journal or a log that sailors from the outside world are doing the same thing, And we have to it that Oden writes a book, and we get to know what he's written in here. It is said that in the Ringo, we encountered two hungry brothers covered in filth. They danced on the streets to get by, but the locusts treated them badly. And we see to it that it was actually Kikunojo and Izo, two brothers. I really wish I could have saw the obvious get-go, but honestly, Kiku. All this time, Kiku was a male. Okay, enough for me, not saying anything. Let's continue. We have to it that Oden continues his journal or log or a diary, whatever you want to call it. He continues writing it by saying that I learned that they were raised in a dancing school, but their family was torn apart after their father was arrested and convicted. And they scarfed down the Oden we made with tears streaming down their faces, And we see to it that there's another funny thing. And this is where they met Kanjuro, where he was actually a demon that would steal human hair, whether if its victims were dead or alive. But it was Kanjuro in the end, and says like he'd be using the hair to make brushes so he could sell them for a living. He came for my hair, so I beat him up. He has been following me ever since, And it seems like he was persecuted in the past, but you reap what you sow. And Oden continues his vlog or his journal by saying like in Udon there were rumors of a heinous mountain bandit who would fight any man he locked eyes with and kidnapped any woman. But in the end it turned out to be Raizo, a genius ninja who resigned from the Kozuki family's Oniwabanishu but he was heartbroken after being rejected by Kunoichi, etc. And we see to it that we go to a scene with like Ashura Doji, which he's really surprised that he's coming to that he finds out that Oden's coming to Kuri. He's all like, you know what? I want him here so I could kill him. Bring him to me, I hate privileged people with power the most, etc. And we see to it that like everyone's wondering, hey, do you know where Oden went? He goes like, yeah, I think he said he went south, and I thought he said yesterday that he often disappears for a day or two on a whim. And we have to it that one of the guys go like, oh, wait a minute, isn't south is Kuri? And we see to it that Kinemon and everyone else is like, oh no, we gotta hurry, we gotta go help him out. And we see to it that Oden continues his journal by saying, after I broke open the gate, I was overwhelmed by the stench of blood, sweat, and corpses. It was as if the entire world turned its killing intent and directed towards me. The rules there seem simple. One is free to enter, but leaving would mean death. How stifling such an environment it is for humans, Even Oden tells everyone in Kuri by saying, tell your boss this, that a samurai has come. Never leave. That is kind of the rule I hate the most, And we see to it that everyone is really shocked, and all of Oden's followers who were rescued by him says, hey, we gotta hurry up and save him, But we see to it they arrived too late, as Oden achieved victorious, and he actually beat Ashura Doji, And he even said, like, it took all night, and I can't believe it took that long. So this is the power of the infamous Ashura Doji. And Ashura's like, hurry up and kill me. It was inevitable that my life would end like this. I have no regrets. And we have to it that Oden says, hey, you lot, do you all still adore me? Because I will be needing your strength and wits. I decided that I want to become the king of these scumbags. And we see to it eventually Oden will continue his journal by saying it was a hellish land filled with stench of corpses, but Oden used his overwhelming might to round up all the Ruffians of Kuri and turn that hell into a peaceful and prosperous place for its inhabitants, Even Yasui and Oden's father was actually shocked about this, Because of these exploits and successes, he has decided Oden's father decides to reverse his decision of disowning his own son, and he then declared his son Daimyo of Kuri, And we see to it that everyone who was under Oden's rule in Kuri is actually very happy. We did it, Ashura Doji, along with many of his retainers that followed him, we said, yeah, dude, you became Daimyo. That's perfect. That's great. You the best, And Ashura Doji, who apparently was like trying to appreciate his thanks to Oden by saying, this is the first time I've seen what peace looks like, and I thank you very much for that, Oden. But we have to it that Oden kicks him in the face and says, stop with the sappy talk, okay? And we see to it that Oden says, not to mention, a daimyo requires some retainers or followers. I would rather not have some uptight officials following me. So, you guys are going to do it. You can be my samurai. And that includes Ashura Doji, Raizo, Kanjuro, and the two little brothers, Kiku and Izo. I forgot who Izo was, so I had to look him up. And he's part of the Whitebeard crew, etc. And much more. We have to it that everyone's very happy and they cry in tears of happiness, but we also see to it that we get another time skip in the end of this chapter, which is referred to as 6 years later and 33 years from the present. The survivors of the legendary rocks pirates started recruiting. They would eventually become the beacons of power for the next generation. And we see to it that we get to see Kawamatsu, that guy with the finned up thing. I think he's a fisherman whatsoever. He says, whoa, these guys are animals. Are they hairy people? And we see to it that the two people that washed up upon Wano's borders is actually Inugarashi and Nekomamushi. It has to be, because it's a dog and a cat looking like that was drawn. So, without a lot of detail, etc., this was just another chapter of Oden's backstory and how he became Daimyo, or the king of Kuri. How he turned that place into how that place Kuri turned into an ugly place of filthy criminals and killings, all thanks to Oden's mighty strength altogether. He was able to whatchamacallit, create it into a paradise, which is something that's really nice. And eventually he would later on have retainers, which would be the original 9 scabbards, you know? I mean, it's those 9 scabbards. I mean, that included Kinemon, Kanjuro, Raizo, Kiku, Ashura Doji, and Denjiro. Yeah, Denjiro. Pretty cool, right? So, yeah. Just another chapter of Oden's backstory and how he became, and how he managed to get his own country, Kuri, under his wing and ends up having retainers. Looking forward to the next chapter because this time we're gonna know about Inugarashi and Nekomamushi, you know? So until then, I'll see you guys on the next video. I'm off. What's up, people? Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!